Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the workshop Collaborative Learning Tools. My name is Hương Nguyen and my colleague is Helen Ratnikova. We are the e-learning advisor from the Italy e-learning team. And today it is our pleasure to be with you to introduce about the different collaborative tools available at UQ. First, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners and their custodianship of the lands on which we meet. We pay our respects to their ancestors and their descendants who continue cultural and spiritual connections to country. We recognize their valuable contributions to Australian and global society. So in order to introduce you about the different tool, I will invite you to join a polling session with me first. And then I can both introduce the tool and get you to know about the tool. So first, if you can scan the QR code. And for this one, I require you to provide your name. So it can be your real name or it can be your pseudonym. And when you see the message waiting for presenter, that means you are in the poll, but I haven't started it yet. Otherwise, you can go to use your desktop and go to echopoll.au and enter the code Tutors are cool. That is the code for joining in the poll that I have here. And also I have started a bit of competition. So I have used the function to put you into teams. So you will be randomly put into different teams with different animals' names. So I am in the crabs team. Okay, so let's get started. The first question I'd like to ask you is a word cloud question. What is collaborative learning, its benefit, or how can we achieve collaborative learning in the class? You can choose to answer that with the short answers, a few sentences, or one word. Yeah, it can be the definition of collaborative learning or the benefits or how to achieve collaborative learning in the class. And as you can see that I have set up the clock, so it is running, so the student can see that there's a timer in the question. Yep, group discussions, engaging, learning together, engaging, learning with each other and from each other. Yep, and it's interactive. It involves teamwork. Nice, yeah. Thank you very much. Yep, I agree with all of your answers there. Because collaborative learning is the joint effort by the students, among the student, or between the student and the teachers, and it centers on student exploration and application of the course materials. And as you may have already known, knowledge is personal, and it is formed through the discussion and social interaction. Because learning is a network phenomenon, and also the more we interact with each other, we talk about the knowledge, we discuss the material covered in the course, the more understanding that we have about the course content. And with the development of technology, knowledge now is more distributive because students can engage in the learning through the use of multimodal technologies and channels so that they can interact with each other and with the knowledge to enhance the understanding of the course material. And the next question is a multiple select. That means I provide the questions and a range of the answers where you can select more than one answers. And you can see that, yeah, the answer is varied on the chart. Some of you are more familiar with Microsoft Teams, but less than the other tool. For me and Helen, we know all the tools here, and we are more than happy to share the knowledge about this tool with you. Yeah. These are the tools that are available at UQ. And as you can see, UQ is very, very generous in equipping the tools for the teaching staff at UQ. And in the workshop today, we will be focusing on echo poll, the choice, Padlet, and add discussion. And I will pause here maybe for a few seconds if you have any questions about the different tools that we have here at UQ. Do you have any question? Yeah, maybe not. So maybe during the time we present about each tool, you will have other questions. Jenny, yes, please.
Thank you. My question is, are all of these tools already installed on the computers in classrooms, or do we need to contact IT to ask to be installed?
Yes, yeah, very good question. Thank you, Jenny. For example, Microsoft Teams, you need to register way ahead before the semester start so that ITS can create the teams for your course. So the request go through us, and then we send the request to Microsoft Teams. But when Helen present about a discussion, it is a tool integrated in Blackboard. So if you want to use it, you only need to enable the add discussion. But Padlet, Flip, the Chase are the tools that are available. You only need to click on the login, and then you use the UQ username, and you will have the users. The H5P, you would need to contact us so that we provide you the users. EchoPoll, you download the app, and Microsoft Form is within Microsoft Teams, and UQ have the corporate license to use that. So, yep, I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you. Do you happen to know if everything that is already available in Blackboard is also available in the new Blackboard Ultra? My course is a pilot course.
Yeah, I think that for the list of the tool here, a discussion is available in Ultra, but the other are separated from Blackboard. So you only need the login link, and then you use your UQ username and password. Then you will have the access to the tool and use that in your teaching. So now I will start with Echo Poll. So Echo Poll is the live polling tool. As you have seen that, I have used that to run a few sample questions. And it has a variety of question type, as you can see on the list. It has the team features, which I will show you after this slide. And then it can be integrated to the LMS. And actually, the integration at the moment only allows the single sign-on for the academics, but not fully integrated to the Grade Center. And one of the reasons is that we use EchoPoll as the polling tool in the class rather than an assessment tool at the moment. And it had both synchronous and asynchronous uses. Let me show you a bit more in the next slide. So the one that I am using to present you today is the app, which can be added into your PowerPoint, where you can teach the teaching content and then ask any question that you might have in the class. And the second use is the floating toolbar, where you can save the app onto your taskbar. And then if you teach to ask any question that you have in the class, even though you do not have the PowerPoint enabled into that teaching, you have any image on the screen, or if you even do not have anything, you only need to have the screen in the class, and then you can ask student the question, and the student can scan the QR code and answer any question that you have. So it's on the fly. You teach in the class, you have one question that you need to check with the student, you use the floating toolbar in the Echo Poll. And the last tool is on the web environment. So if you have used Mentimeters, Mentimeters use the web environment to run the poll. And you can run it question by question, as in the first option here on the web, or the other one, you can create the whole quizzes and then send student the link so the student complete the poll as an assignment, or out a fast task? So just a fun question. How do students behave in your class? So it doesn't mean to check on your teaching or anything. It is an example of the hotspot question. So as the participant, you can refresh your mobile phone and then you can enlarge the image and then collect and then select the image that you think your question is. Yes, yeah. So you expect that the student study together, be very engaged in the class, but yes, of course, there are unengaged or disengaged students as well. And some students are very naughty, as the one you see that he picked a pencil on the friend. So yeah, this is a hotspot question where you can use in the class to ask the student as well. So in order to sign in or to have a username in EchoPoll, you would need to go through a sign-in process, which I'm going to share here in the chat. So this is the login page. After you click on the login page, you only need to provide your UQ email and click on next and go through the prompting process. And for this one, I also have the instructional video where you can watch the video and then follow the instruction that I have in the video, and you will hear my voice again. And the download process is quite simple. And after you've done the download, you can start creating. Actually, after you do the download, it's important that you do the setup, which I also have the guide here, the global setup and the individual and the local setup in PowerPoint. So if you go through all of the instructions here, toward the end of the instructions, I have a reminder for you to save the app on the taskbar, complete the global setup, complete the local setup, and then you will start creating the question. We'll pause here a little bit and check with you. Have you download the app before you come to the workshop? Now, please have a show of hand if you have. Nope. Okay, so for this one, I have all the guide and the video here. If you can follow that instructions here, you will have the app enabled in your desktop or your device. And just one note that if you want to use the app in your teaching, and if you are teaching in a room at UQ campus, you can email ITS to request the app to be installed in your teaching room. But in a couple of weeks, we will request ITS to install the app on every computer at UQ. But if you want to use after today, you will need to contact ITS. So do you have any questions regarding the Echo Poll?
Yes, hello. I have a question. My name's Gillian.
Hello.
Could you just show us where you went to log in for Echo Poll, please?
Yeah, sure. If you click on the link that I sent in the chat, so I send the chat again here, you click on that link and then you enter your UQ email address, then you will be logged into the system.
Thank you.
Welcome. And also I have sent another link, which is the guide. Please save the guide and then you can set up the app and also practice creating the questions for the student. I have something frozen on my screen so that I do not Let me try to, okay, yeah. Yeah. Team ranking. So now I can add the team ranking here. Let's see which team is number one. Yeah, this is, I think it's the Rhino. Yay, congratulations, the Rhino. And then I can select the participant leaders to see who are the leader or who is the best individual in this quiz. I think that is Andy. Sorry, that the title participant hidden the name. So Andy and Ben, Drew, Francisca, and Helen. Thank you very much. So now I will hand over to Helen, who will present about the next tool. So Helen, would you like me to stop sharing? And then you can share. You can share, yeah. Thank you. Helen, you're on mute.
Hi, everyone. So you can see my screen all right with the PowerPoint. Yeah, lovely. Thank you, Hong. And again, welcome everyone to the workshop. So H5P, the Chase. Chase is a UQ equivalent of Kahoot. UQ does not have a Kahoot license, but UQ does have a H5P license. And if you haven't used H5P before, it's basically a platform where you can create interactive learning objects, and Chase being just one of them. So Chase, as Kahoot, is a live quiz game where students can chase each other in answering the questions set up by you guys or by your course coordinators. It has 3 modes. The chase, the most popular, is where the instructor starts the quiz and all students complete it at the same time, simultaneously, but progress in different speeds, of course. And whoever, and this is actually the screenshot of an actual game, and whoever gives the most correct answers in the shortest time possible, that person wins. This mode is good for boosting engagement and, again, making your students participate actively in the session, in the tutorial, or in a lecture. Another mode, it's fairly new. We've been waiting for it for, I think, like 2 years, but finally is enabled. It's page by page, and it's actually a direct equivalent of Kahoot. And students answer all questions on the page. And then the instructor stops, or actually you can set the timer for every page. And after a page, the time runs out, the instructor can go and show the summary of correct and incorrect answers and explain why this answer is correct and the other one's wrong. It is good to test content comprehension, maybe at the end of the lecture or at the end of the tutorial. And the last mode is self-paced, where you can basically add the Chase activity to Blackboard, and students complete it asynchronously at their own time. And it, of course, loses this thrill of chasing and winning. And when students are completing it, they have this temporary ranking. And once the instructor chooses to end the game, then students have the leaderboard and they see how they performed as compared to the other students. The question types that you can use within the Chase are, as you can see, multiple choice, true, false, drag and drop, etc. And there are also non-markable question types, which might be a good use case for like presenting the content or explaining some concepts in a nice and engaging ways. All right, without any further ado, let's play the Chase. Can you either scan the QR code or go to go.h5p.com. So the QR code will take you there, and I'm pasting the link in the chat. And when you're there, just wait for me for a second. I will give you the game code. So either please scan the QR code or go to just directly in your browser, go.h5p.com. And I am going to our chase activity. And this is the code that you're going to be using. 9931419. And as you can see, I can see the number of players, increasing. So I have 3 players, 6, etc. And for example, if you are running it in a tutorial, you see that there are, say, 30 students in the class. And when there are, say, maybe 20 players already, you can start the game. Let me wait for another 2 seconds, maybe 3, and then I can start the game. Okay. So I see there are 17 players, and I will click Start Game. And this is the first question that you will answer. And I set the timer because it's a very easy question at just 15 seconds. So, yep, and it gives the countdown, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Yeah, time's up. And I can see the leaderboard straight away. And what I can do, I can click here and I can show summary. And on your phones, you will be able to see the summary with the correct answers, which was 1909. And I'm very glad that a lot of you have answered it correctly, and just the distribution of the, wrong answers. And then I choose, when I'm ready, I can click next. And this is where in the tutorial or during the lecture, you can, go over the correct answers. And I click next. And again, that's a very easy question. So I set it as 15 seconds, and you can set the timer for every page individually. It defaults to 2 minutes. If you just forget to set the timer, it will time out in 2 minutes. All right. Yep, so and I can see the leaderboard, and again, I can show summary. And yeah, that actually was false. That was the correct answer. And the last, a couple of more questions. Again, 15 seconds. So in this case, in this mode, page by page, you as tutors have control when to move to the next page. Alternatively, you can sort of play it in the chase mode, where all the questions will be on the same page and students will just complete them all in one go. And I will go next. Again, an easy question, 15 seconds. Yeah, so Sina is not in the UQ motto. And I'll go to the last one, and this is drag and drop, where you can select which politicians are UQ alumni and which are not. And our leader is someone with a very good logo of a unicorn, an avatar of a unicorn, and the good name Good. Lovely. Thank you very much for participating. So this was page by page, and you can do, again, self-paced and the chase. If you are one quick thing, we won't, because the time will not permit us, I won't go through how to set it up. It's actually quite easy. If you are running a couple of tutorials parallel, or you can ask either your course coordinator to create it, and you will then need to clone it. So you will have the same chase for each tutorial. Otherwise, you can't run the same chase in different groups. It will just mess up with the answers. Any questions here? Let me check the chat.
Yes, I have a question. So if I have 2 tutorials back to back, for all of these tools, will I need to recreate, or can I use one and then immediately use the next?
Yep. So if you're using if they're not parallel, you can use the same. So you basically, as I refreshed, so if I say I will reset the game, I'll click reset, and it will clears all the answers of the previous cohort, and it's fresh for the next one. It's just if you're running them in parallel, or not you can't be into rooms together, but say there are a couple of tutorials parallel, you basically go here, 3 dots, clone, and it will be a direct replica of your chase.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny.
And we need to ask for a license to use this, I understand.
Very good question. I was just gonna, yeah. So if you're interested in using H5P in general and Chase in particular, please email help@elearning, and we will very quickly give you a license and you can start creating. And it's H5P has 50 plus, like 50 plus different question types, starting
Right.
with your basic MCQs, going into quite involved, like branching scenarios, interactive books, interactive videos. Really, it's such an amazing tool. I love it, and it's really boosts your creative juices. And students love using it. And all the objects are interactive, and it improves engagement, and also is quite useful in presenting the content and testing comprehension. Yeah, that's a
Great.
lovely tool.
Thanks, Helen.
Thank you. That was it. Any more questions about H5P?
Yeah. One more question. Can I remove the time pressure for the answer?
Yes. It defaults to 2 minutes, so you can't really have it longer than 2 minutes. Yeah. So if you don't put at any time, it will go for 2 minutes, and then you have to, end it sometime. Okay. All right. Thank you. And back to you, Han.
Thank you very much. That is very interesting. Cool. And now I will continue with Padlet. So Padlet is the online board for students to collaborate in class or out of class activities. So imagine that in the past, when you were teaching, you might get students to work in pairs or in groups, and you would give students a big page, a sheet of paper where they write their work together, and then they stick around the class and they present about their work outcome to the whole class. But now you can use a tool called Padlet, where you can create the content and then use a different format, and the student will create the content together or individually. And in the class, you can show the Padlet in your screen, and the student can look at the content and discuss the content together. So now I'd like to introduce you a few Padlet sample and also get you to post in the sample Padlet. And after that, I will get you to sign in for your account. So this is the first one, and I really like this. It is called the wall format. So Padlet have different format. The first one is the wall, as you can see here. I often use this one in week O. To get the student to introduce each other and meet each other before the semester start. I select the wall because when the student post with their introductions and their image, then there is no space between the posts, so it creates a feeling like a close-knit community. And toward the end of the course, if I share the Padlet again, the student will be able to read again about their introductions and see the familiar faces throughout the semester. So this can be really good to increase the sense of belonging in the class. So in order to create a post, you simply look for the plus button in a Padlet. So there's a plus button here. You click on the plus button and you will be able to add a new post. And for this one, I have shared with you the link in the chat. If you can please click on the link and then share a post. Create a post about yourself. That would be great. And usually I often have my teaching teams to create the first post. So when the student click onto the Padlet link, they feel like they are welcomed by the teaching staff. And if you have a link to your research page or any link that show your profile, it will be able to be shown here in the Padlet post as well. So yeah, I can see one new post about the grammar queen. Somebody really loved the grammar. Yeah, coming from a language background, I used to be a language teacher. I love grammar too. I started learning grammar since grade 2, English grammar. Yeah, and as you can see that this one can be a very fun activity for the student at the beginning of the class, where they post different things about themselves, including their real image or any image that they want to share. Yeah, and then later on, I will show you how to create an account for yourself and create the Padlet. So now let me, yep, thank you. I drag that one away and it still be there available for you to add your next post if you want. And let me introduce another format. The next format is the map format, where you can use as an ice-breaking activity. So it can be create and share the link to the student in week 0, for example. And the question is, where are you from? So the student can create, click on a spot on the map, and then they can add an image, and then they can write an introduction about the place where they come from. And then the whole class can click on the menu at the bottom of the screen on the right-hand side, and they can see all the places that student in the class come from. So it can be a very fun activity to get to know where each other come from in their course, come from in the world. The next one is called the shell format. As you can see that the shell actually now Padlet have changed the shell, even look better compared with the one that I'm having here. And it has different column where you can enter the title of each column here. And then student can add their post under each of the column. So you can have different titles, or different topics, and the students select the corresponding topic and create their post down here. So in this activity, students need to work with each other and introduce their favorite movie and explain why. And the next one is also the shell format, and this one is used for tutorial groups. So as you can see on the first column here, I have the instruction where students have to watch the video, and then they have to, then I have a range of, I have a range of instruction down here for the students so that they can have the instructions, and then they can add their activity in the equivalent columns here. And the next one is the Canvas format. It can be the whole classwork where the student can do some brainstorming activity. And for this activity, students have to classify the content. So in this one, the student have to talk about the different presence in an online learning environment. And they brainstorm about the different activities where they will change the color of the post and then drag the post into the relevant area on the Padlet. Also, the same Canvas format. This is a critical reading activity where the student have to read a very complicated article, and then they break down the article into different sections and understand what is the main argument and what are the supporting details or evidence that the writer provided. And the last one is the timeline format. If you want the student to participate in an activity where they have to work with the timeline, for example, the different theory, or this one is a weekly reflection for individual student. So each student have a timeline format Padlet where they enter the weekly reflection here with an image and the text. So in order to create a Padlet yourself, so let me show you. Let me copy the link to join Padlet for you. Here. I'm going to copy this link for you in the chat. And once you click on this link, you will come to the same page as myself. And you need to click on continue with Microsoft. So let me copy and paste that one in the chat. Yeah, thank you, Helen, for your answer. Yep, it depends on your content. Yep. And usually you think about your class activity. If you want to use the Padlet activity, you need to prepare the Padlet way ahead the lecture or the tutorial. And then when it comes to the activity time, you simply copy the link and share that to the student. And if you are using Blackboard, you can create a post in Blackboard and where student can click on the link and join the Padlet. So if you want to create your usernames in Padlet, you need to click on continue with Microsoft and then provide your UQ email. Of course, UQ username and password. And of course, the dual authentication that you need to provide. We are nearly there. After this, you will come to your own dashboard. So this one, after I sign in, it go to my dashboard. But for myself, I have created a number of Padlet because I have used that for a long time now. So for yourself, maybe you do not have any Padlet. Yeah, I need to create a different Padlet throughout the semester. But I know that in one course, they use one Padlet because they have the student to post the question Q&A. So they want to keep one Q&A Padlet for the whole semester. Another course, it is the feedback. So they keep one Padlet for the whole semester for student feedback. So it depends on the activity itself. So now I'd like you to find the three dots at the bottom of the screen on the left, the three dots. Your account doesn't exist. Let me think a bit. Jenny, so did you sign up with the UQ? Yeah, for everyone else, I'd like you to click on the three dots and then click on the setting. And then I will troubleshoot with Jenny. So
Yes, I signed up with my UQ account, yeah.
Yeah, you sign up with your UQ account. So maybe you can go through the process again. Go to the Padlet UQ. Okay, let me grab one. Copy. Yeah, let me copy the link again for you in the chat. So this time only click on Padlet.UQ, the new link that I have sent you. And then click on sign in with Microsoft and then enter your UQ email. And for other participants who can still follow the instructions here, in your setting, you do not need to change anything here, but the username can be changed. If the usernames include long name, including first name, middle name, last name, you can change your username to shorter. So for myself, I only use my first name here in case you want to do it. And then you can go to the notification. And for myself, I uncheck almost all the notification. So new post, I uncheck. New comment, uncheck. I only keep invitation, collaborate, or mentions. That's it. And then I uncheck everything so that I do not need to see all of the notification in my email. And that's it. When you finish, you can click on go back on the top left, the arrow on the top left. And then you can start making your Padlet. And by simply click on make Padlet, the pink color there, and then you have all the different formats that you can select down here. Well, they have changed. They have a lot of template format. Yeah, so first you need to click on the, let me select that one again. Click on make Padlet and then select the blank board. After that, all the different format will be available for you to choose. The Word format, like the one that I show you for the student to introduce each other. Or the map, or the shell format. So these are the most popular or the most common used one. And then you would need to enter your title for the board or for the Padlet. So if I create a Word one, I can change the title into introduce yourself, for example. Select done. And if you need to check the setting of your Padlet, find the call button so that you can check out other settings. Description, you can provide a short instructions. Icon. You can select an icon that you like. Wallpaper, you can change. And the new post position, last or first. So last, that means the new post will be pushed down and as the last, so that any one post will be saved in the top position. And if you want, you can change to new position in the first. Comment means that if you want the student to comment on each other post, you can enable and reaction. If you want the student to star each other post, you can enable that setting. Yep, and then at the end, the URL is the link where you can share that to the student. Otherwise, you can simply copy the link onto your from the browser and share that to the student. And yep, there you go. If you completed creating a Padlet, you can share your Padlet in the chat so that other people can try to get into your Padlet and make a post. But yeah, the Padlet is here. You have your users and you are welcome to play around with creating different Padlet. And I'm just checking with Jenny. Jenny, are you good with Padlet?
Yes, that works. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, yeah. Same Padlet link throughout the semester and wipe clean once activity is done. Usually, we often have different Padlet actually, and how you organize. So you can see that I create different Padlet for different activities. And then I make the bookmark here. I create different bookmark. So these are the Padlet that I created for the workshops. And then these are the Padlet that I used in the presentation. So you can create different Padlet and then you save that into different folders here by creating the bookmark. So as you can see, you can click on new folder, name it, and then click on the three dot on each of the Padlet. Sorry. I go back to the dashboard by clicking on here. And in the three dot here, you can edit bookmark and then save the Padlet onto one of the bookmarks that you have created. So yeah, each activity should be on one Padlet. So for example, this is my own and the other is my team. And for the bookmark here, I have different folders for my different activities, different course, for example. Yep. So now I would like to introduce Helen to talk about the last tool that we want to mention to introduce you today, which is the Act discussion.
Thank you, Hong. All right. The last, definitely not the least, tool on our collaborative and active learning tools list is Ed Discussion. Ed Discussion is an alternative to native Blackboard discussion board. And if you use native Blackboard discussion board, you probably will agree with me that it's not user-friendly at all. On the other side, Ed offers enhanced functionality. It can serve as your course Q&A knowledge base. It will allow students to get prompt responses to their questions or concerns. It will also allow you as tutors to avoid answering the same question all over again. You will answer it once and everyone will read it because it's on the board. And it allows you to create discussion categories such as lectures, tutorials, assessments, to keep your discussion clean and structured. And it also offers some advanced formatting functionality and supports coding. In fact, actually, it was created to support coding courses. All right. So again, without any further ado, let's jump into a discussion board. I'll pop the link in the chat. Please authenticate. So when you click on the link, please go through an authentication process. And you will appear somewhere here. Please let me know if you're there, if you have any, issues accessing it. No, please have like a show of hands if you've accessed the discussion board and if you are somewhere where I am on the screen.
Helen, just checking, is that login with SSO or already have an
With
account
SSO,
login?
with SSO.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
authenticate with SSO, please. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Jenny. So if it didn't work, if you tried to log in with an email, just refresh your browser or copy paste the link again and go with SSO. Okay, so hopefully you will get here. And this is how it looks. Really, thank you, John. Like nice and pretty and very clean, and it has the dark mode as well. So here in the top left-hand corner, you will have all the courses where you have Ed discussion enabled. Below there are categories and they're fully customizable. And can I please ask you to navigate to Ready to Tutor Week, which is the last one. And you will see in the middle section the list of all the threads in the discussion. And the thread is basically a initial post with the subsequent responses and answers. And yes, if you click on any of the posts, they will open in the main panel and you can see and you can create and you can comment. Can I please ask you to, in the Ready to Tutor week, navigate through the post, what do you like most about your job? And can you please add some comments and just basically click add comment and add your response. I like, what do I like? I love my team. And if you can also heart the response, I'd love my colleague. And you can, when you heart someone's response, you can see the lovely animation and small hearts popping up, which is quite beautiful, engaging. Thank you guys for posting. Thank you. Yeah, this is quite easy. Also, you can in your posts add multimedia. So you can add an image. So if you click on the image, you can upload from your computer or embed from link. Easy. The same way you can upload a video and from the link or from your computer. It has, yeah, so you can upload. Oh, thank you, Hong. That's beautiful. And you can, if you make a mistake, you can always edit or delete your own post the same way as students. They can always, anyone in the discussion can remove or edit their own posts. Okay, that's good, that's done. Can we then navigate, please, to the section, which is the post? Oh, a bit of, navigational tips. It has very powerful search. So if you click at the top of the search bar, if you type any word that, for example, you remember there was a post about job, but you can't really remember where it was, just type job, and if this word is found in the title or in the text of the post or anywhere in the post, it will find it for you. Here you can also do a bit of filtering. If you click on the filter, you can see different options, and you can filter all posts, all unread, new responses, new replies, etc., etc. You can also, here at the top of every post, you can set, so if you create something, it's automatically set as watching. And by watching, if you click on this eyeball, you will see what it means. By watching, it is being notified of all activity in the thread. If you don't want to be watching, you can set as not watching, and you'll be notified of direct replies only, or ignoring, you can just let ignore. And notifications will be coming through email. If you will feel flooded by notifications, you can go to your own account and in settings, you can navigate to notifications and just disable or enable the ones that you would want. Okay, let me go back. Very nice, very, very beautiful, clean, really, again, it's one of another favorite tool of mine. You can also star a post and it will just make it your personal favorite. So you can see I start the post and it, shows the small star. You can pin posts and it will take it and bring it to the top of the category. Students can't do this, only you can. And if you want something to stay on the top, say for a week, like an important message about an assessment or a tutorial or field trip coming up, just pin it for you, and you can see that there's a little pin. And you can, always unpin it. Another thing I would want to show you is endorsing. So if you click on the, you can't because you're students there. But when you are logged in as staff, you can endorse the posts and you can see this lovely blue ribbon showing up, and this blue ribbon also shows in the on the list of the threads. What would you want to endorse? Something that the whole whole cohort can benefit from, like a good question or a good answer, something that you want to sort of show that that's a good content. And you can always endorse and unendorse. Right, what else would I want to show you in the last 5 minutes that we have? Let's go. And of course, many of the students, like privacy, and they would want to post things anonymously. Ed discussion allows anonymity. So can I ask you to navigate to the first thread, anonymity testing? And can I ask you to add a comment, post something, and just make sure that anonymous checkbox is checked and see what happens. See what's happening. Ed assigns a random animal or bird or fish name. And other than it being funny, and I've learned so many different names of the animals that I didn't know existed, it also indicates if this is the same person posting or a different person. So I am a sparrow in this thread. I will be someone else in another thread. It's just nice and easy. So that's this is anonymity. And again, it has beautiful variety of the content that you can add to your discussion board. Like you can add web snippets, you can have this nice formatting options. It supports LaTeX, it supports coding. I think default is Python, but I can show you. So these are all the coding languages that it supports. And you can embed, so that's one of Pon's Padlets. You can embed a Padlet in the discussion board. And it's live, as you see that we have the posts from today's. Yeah, so it's like really, this is one of my favorite. Anything that can be embeddable, you can embed it in a discussion. And setting it up is really super easy. In your Blackboard, you can ask your course coordinator, or if you have those permissions, you can set it up yourself. Just go to here, to link, this tiny plus button, to link, type add discussion, select add discussion, click submit, and that's it. It will take you to the platform. You will activate it and set up your categories. If you don't have labs, just delete labs, quizzes, delete quizzes. And yep, you're all set. Easy. Okay. Any questions? Because we do have just 2 minutes, and I would want to go through the support options that we guys offer for you, that we advisors offer for you guys. Any questions about a discussion in particular? There are guides on everything that we've been talking about today. So if you forgot something, don't worry, you can always find a guide. There are a couple. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. You will get the slides and you will get the recording. This is the services that our team offers. So if you have any, if you want a H5P license or any other license, please email help@elearning. Also, if you have any problems with something's not showing, an error message is displayed. So this is our support desk. We do run workshops such as this, or we can do custom workshops to a group of tutors in your course or to a school or faculty. So please email advisors and we'll set up a workshop, we'll organize a workshop for you. Please use our consultation service. It's a one-on-one consultation. You can invite, again, your colleagues, and we can do like a one-to-many consultation. And we will help you set any tool up for your particular course. And as I mentioned, there are always guides on all the centrally supported tools that we've been talking about today. That is pretty much it, and we're right on the dot. Thank you guys very much for coming, and hopefully you enjoyed our session, and all the best in semester 1. And please stay in touch, please book consultations and come to other workshops. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I have sent you the booking link. So if you have any question or if you want to understand any tool in depth or testing out any tool before you want to run that in the class, please click on the link and then book a consultation with us. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. All the best.